Alright, folks, so this is Acid Roots. I'm going to review the skits off of Ludacris's second album, Word of Mouf. So this is basically one of his most successful projects, and in some cases is considered one of his best albums. It had 4 singles, had the most chart-heavy songs on here. It was just overall a lot of fun. Ludacris was funny on this project, but it also had skits, just kind of like his first album. I forget what it's called. It's like back for the first time. I reviewed that like a year and a half ago. I think I kind of said that the skits were decent. There might have been 4 on that project. There might have been 3. I don't remember, but I do know that on this project there's only 3. But I'll give Ludacris 2 out of 3 of them. I mean, the 2 that I did like are pretty damn good, but then the third one kind of bogged it down a bit. But just to kind of go in on it, so first skit that you're going to hear is called Where, and basically it has I-20. If you don't know who I-20 is, he's the third guy on the song Move Bitch. So yeah, he's on verse 3 on there. He was kind of one of Ludacris's accomplices back in the early days. He kind of dissipated later on. I don't think you would have heard him much past like Chicken and Beer, but he was kind of around for like the early days, like I was saying. So basically, on Where, I-20 is trying to hit up Ludacris to get some chick's number, some hoe from around the country, something like that. And he's hoping that Ludacris has her number. I don't know if it's on his cell phone or it's on his pager. I think it's probably on his cell phone. I think there was, yeah, cell phones back in 2001 or so. Um, yeah, so it's kind of funny hearing the conversation, just the way that they kind of come at each other, because you look at it, and Ludacris, I mean, obviously he probably did have several series of women's numbers in his phone, but just the way he was kind of being dodgy with it. I mean, it didn't seem like he was trying to help out I-20 that much. I was kind of curious as to, you figured Ludacris would be like, oh yeah, I'll totally toss that chick your way. I'm sick of that chick anyway, something like that. That chick pissed me off because she kept wanting me to buy her, like, Steak and Shake or something. But for what it was pretty solid conversation between the two of them, just kind of chatting. Just, Ludacris was just at the gas station trying to get a fill up, about to go on to his next chick, and I-20 was, I mean, I guess you could almost say that he was kind of sleazing a bit, but I think he just was needing, you know, a chick on, just an extra chick there. But so that's one thing about that. But then Greatest Hits was pretty funny. That was probably a little bit funnier than Where, but not quite as, relatable or just low key with it. It's kind of, so this one is about like the greatest hits, but the white people version of like Ludacris's greatest hits is supposed to be kind of sarcastic, but it's kind of funny just because you basically get like a complete, um, you know, trying to think of the word. What's the word for white people? I don't remember. It's not. You get like the complete Caucasian of like songs like Southern Hospitality and What's Your Fantasy and Ho, some of Ludacris's biggest hits at the time. So it's just like the most complete Larry Goodman, white person, Caucasian type um, uh, approach to it. And, there's not really a Larry Goodman. I'm just looking for like, a real kind of white person's name to kind of describe that sort of thing. So, but the skit that I didn't like was the Stop Lying. I was kind of trying to be funny. So basically, this group, or in this song, it's just about like this dude's trying to get some chick to come by, and something keeps messing with like his boss appeal. So obviously the first thing is the fact that the chain's not his, and then like he doesn't have a ride, and then of course he's using his parents' phone. So it goes from him possibly being a boss, and the women are like, "Oh, you're really not balling like that, are you?" And it's kind of, as the skit goes along, he's kind of revealed to almost be like a chump or a scrub or something. and that just kind of happens to be. But I mean, it was kind of funny, but I don't know. I mean, I almost would have wanted Ludacris to have been in more skits. He really was not in the skits. I would have liked to have seen what he would have actually done. He was only really in the Ho-Ware one, but I wonder. I mean, honestly, he was a rapper in his prime back in those days, but just to see if he would have had something on the side, just like him smoking. I know Ludacris smokes Black and Milds, or at least he used to way back in the day, but just to kind of wonder what would have been on his mind that wasn't music would have been interesting, just to kind of. I'm trying to think of something on the fly as far as like what I would have preferred him do, but maybe Lil Fate could have been in there. He's pretty cool homie of his, and they could have had some conversation. I don't know. There's just plenty of things. Him rolling up a Swisher Sweet and cracking a joke like, damn, Crank Yankers is the stupidest fucking show, man, or something like that. I don't know if Crank Yankers was around back in 2001, but just some VH1 show, something like that. But yeah, so me basically having liked 2 out of 3, I'll just give it a 6.5 out of 10. I mean, I might almost up that to a 7, but just 2/3 of the skits on this project I liked, and I really did like those. So just a 6.5, just to kind of say it probably would have gotten a 10 if I had just liked one more skit, but I don't know. I mean, it's difficult to kind of completely grade these skits just because obviously there's not going to be like 7 or 8, just because it's more about the music. But for what it was, 2 out of 3 is pretty solid. I mean, I would probably have those on like my MP3 player, or even listen to those on the off occasion of wherever you listen to skits. It's just fun. They were. There's another side of Ludacris, and really I hadn't heard Ho-Ware that much before, so it's good skits like that, just to kind of say how that actually went. So it's solid. I would have to say it's worth, if you're already on the verge of getting ready to pick up like Word of Mouf, it definitely makes it that much of a better purchase, just remembering those skits and saying that they kick ass also. So hell yeah.